Greetings, sports fans, ASMR Sports. Back at you with some more cards, but this time non-sports cards. So, first of all, I want to kind of address something that was mentioned in a comment and sort of relates to what I'm going to do here today. Recently, someone on the channel commented that they wanted me, to like move more quickly. I guess open cards more quickly. And I appreciate where that's coming from. Some folks, who watch my channel are really interested in seeing the cards in packs or boxes that I open, and want to kind of get to see as much as possible, as quickly as possible, and within reason. And when I move kind of slowly and sort of deliberately and take my time with cards, it can be not as enjoyable for those folks. And I understand that. However, lately, especially with the new recording setup that is a lot more sensitive to like sounds that are made from the opening of stuff, I have been moving more slowly, more deliberately, and I think there's a lot of people who watch this channel who don't really care about sports at all, or maybe not sports cards, and they're really here for just kind of the relaxation, and both of those are valid, I think, views. But my point is, and also today, I'm doing some non-sports card stuff, and I've done some of that in the past, and sometimes I'll get people to say, you're this ASMR Sports way, we can't do anything that's not sports related. Well, I mean, I can do whatever I want, right? Like, it's my channel, so what I want to do is just sort of a variety of things, and I would just say, hey, if you're seeing a video that's not your cup of tea, unless I've done nothing but that, thing that's not your cup of tea for the last 10-20 videos, I think, there's a good chance I will be doing something that you might enjoy. So don't assume that, one thing I've done is going to be all that I'm ever going to do, and hang with if a video is not your cup of tea. So that's my little preamble. There's probably a lot of people who are like, God, why are you taking 3 minutes to ramble on about some crap? But again, I think maybe a lot of people don't mind that if it's relaxing. So, yeah, I'm just saying, feedback's always welcome, but any criticism should be constructive. And I also would just tell people, look, I'm trying a few things out here, and we'll always generally experiment with the type of content I'm doing and how I do it. So, if you don't like something, just kind of hang tight, and you'll probably find something you like eventually. In here, we have a box of non-sports cards, and some of them, as you can see, are singles opened up. And on the left, we have some packs. And I haven't been through here in a while, so I'll be interested to see what I find. Non-sports cards have definitely been more and more popular, and kind of increasing in value and price. So I might find something in here that I think has some decent value, but I might not. I have been collecting kind of more and more non-sports stuff, but not cards that are cards of movies and TV shows that I loved as a kid, or even as an adult. And I will not be showing any of those cards in this video. Alright, I'm gonna zoom back in here, kind of zoom out to be able to see that box. But people want to see my kind of growing collection of unopened non-sports boxes. I'd love to show those off for you. So it looks like here we have a whole bunch of Knight Rider cards, and I'm guessing I probably opened some packs. I don't. Oh, actually, you know what? This is a complete set. Oh man, where the heck's number 1? You see that there too? That's the card number. The back is a puzzle. And yeah, I don't know what might have happened to the first one, but looks like at one point I had a complete set here, and I bought this as a complete set. I wonder if the card number 1 is somewhere else in this box. Knight Rider I loved when I was a kid. I still today I want to get like one of those red lights that goes back and forth and put it on the front of my car. I think that would be fantastic. And then I could actually there was a guy who did this to a Tesla. He had he had a light put on, and he somehow managed to kind of like rig up the audio system so he could play the the sound that it makes from the show, and you can sort of trigger it remotely from his phone. There's a video on YouTube you might wish to check out if that sounds interesting, but it was kind of like buggy and didn't necessarily work great all the time, but I thought it was fun that somebody tried to do that. I've always wanted to do that. And there's the kind of interior control. Kind of funny how limited. Wow, do you hear that? It's like a fly. Alright, I'm gonna go deal with that because we don't want to listen to a fly. Put this down, and then when I pause it, it'll come right back to this and you won't even know it's gone. And just like that, the fly is gone, so, sorry for that interruption. Yeah, so Knight Rider was one of my favorite shows. Man, you know what, I feel like I don't have an open box of Knight Rider, but I should really get one, because it's definitely one of my top favorite 80s shows of all time. I recently got a Three's Company box. I think I might have shown that on a mail day video one time, and that was exciting. I love John Ritter and Three's Company. Great show. What else? Goonies. Love Goonies. The Goonies. I have actually like an open box of the Goonies, and I have I recently bought another sealed box because it was one of the weekly sales. They have like a weekly item on sale at Baseball Card Exchange. That's usually a great deal. So they had a sale on these Goonies boxes, and I was like, oh man, I gotta pick up another one because I love the Goonies. I don't have any Star Wars or Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back boxes, but I really should, shouldn't I? So these are 1982 copyright. So what? I don't even know if I know Trans Am. I feel like it's Trans Am. Some kind of Pontiac. I don't think it's like a Chevy, you know, like a Camaro or anything. Although weren't the Firebird and the Camaro like super similar? Possibly the same. Am I hallucinating? I feel like I remember that from back in the 80s when I used to love those cars. Look at this watch. So this is this is how you know, you summon the Knight Rider car kit. I think Michael is the guy's name, right? That David Hasselhoff plays. The main character, I think it's Michael. And oh man, I'm trying to think of the guy who plays the voice. Is it? I want to say it's Daniel Craig, but I think that's the guy's name on another show, St. Elsewhere, which I'm a huge fan of. Yeah, that was like Dr. Craig. So God, what was the actor's name? Well, anyways, it's funny. This is the watch they used to summon it. It's just like a stupid, LCD display, and then some dressing. You think about like how far past this kind of estimation of the future we have come. If you look at an Apple Watch and how sophisticated it is compared to this, and theoretically you could use an Apple Watch, it has Siri, so you could use it to summon your car. I bet there's apps you can do that. Control your car. If you have a Tesla, you can theoretically summon it, but anyways, it's just kind of funny. And then, when I was a kid, I was sort of obsessed with having like a watch that was some kind of, gadget or had some fancy stuff on it. So I remember I asked my mom for an FM radio watch, which were kind of the rage back in the mid 80s, and I was pretty young then. So I backed in those. I don't know how much they were. I'm sure they were like $40 back then, which was a lot of money for us. Especially, that was like the mid 80s, so I was like, well, it's probably like $150 now or something. So anyways, my mom gets this watch. I think she has reservations because she thinks I'm not capable of taking care of it. And sure enough, a week later, I lost the thing. And I remember I was in like a lot of trouble for that. And we went back searching all the places we'd been to see if we could find it. I just have no idea where it was. Probably like stolen or something in hindsight. Because I can't imagine how I would have lost that thing. Just sort of, taking it off or something. So anyways, that was very, very dramatic. I'm sure my mom, rest her soul, was just upset because it was such a valuable thing, an expensive thing. And thought perhaps I was not being careful with it, which maybe I wasn't, who the hell knows. I was very young. So these are now some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards, which I have some unopened packs of we'll get to later. And are these the first movie or these are the first movie. So these are from 1989, I believe. 1990 is the copyright, but I think the movie came out in 89. These boxes and these cards were like way overprinted, and for a long time, you could buy boxes of these things for like $5. They're absolutely trash. Nobody wanted them. Now I think they're actually worth a little bit. I don't have a complete box of this stuff, but as you'll see, I have some packs. But kind of funny how just absolute, I mean, this stuff was just, you couldn't give it away for most of the, like, 90s and 2000s. But, the sports card boom and the non-sports card boom attendant with it have really given us some changed market dynamics. Alright, next up is kind of cool. It's a Simpsons card, and I've actually seen boxes of this stuff going for like maybe $250, $300. So these are definitely pretty collectible. Simpsons are still going strong after what, like 35 seasons or something. And this is from copyright 1990. So when did The Simpsons start? Was it like 88 maybe, I think? Maybe 87. This is fun. I have a few boxes of these because I bought them up, maybe like half a year or a year ago, thinking, you know what? I mean, there's a huge contingent of the population that is obsessed with rap and, its cultural relevance, and, these UMTV Raps cards have a lot of guys that were, never really depicted in any kind of card form prior to these sets, so, like, KRS-One is an example, but I'm thinking of, like, Public Enemy and Chuck D, Flava Flav, who else was in this set? Like, LL Cool J was in this set, so, collectors of cards like to have rookie cards, and so I figure this set, because it was really kind of the first, at least major release of a, rap-related product, has the first cards, therefore rookie cards. A lot of, the rappers that were popular around the early 90s, so I thought maybe this would have some, and these did go up, but nothing too crazy. There's also, basically the same time this stuff came out, they have rock and roll cards, or music cards, they called them. They called these pro set music cards, but there was another set that was like, rock artists that were actually, it was like pop and rock, so it, like, you'd see U2 and you'd see Madonna cards in that set, and those were more popular than these when they came out, but, were just like those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards, kind of just put on the trash heap for many, many years. And when the sports card boom and non-sports card boom happened in like 2019, 2021, that stuff went up in value, but now it's kind of back down. I have a bunch of those boxes too. The Andy Griffith Show is a Pacific Trading Cards. They did kind of a lot of weird stuff, but they did have some NFL sets. Back in the early 90s, I think I opened some of those. I forget what they called them, what the sort of brand or the name of the set is, but I think I had some 91s that I opened and actually had for sale. It might still be for sale on hotcardboard.com, but it's the set that has the Brett Favre rookie in it. So more TMNT. I think there's a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this. So we're still on the lookout for that card number 1 of the Knight Rider set. Hopefully we can find it. Looks like I'm gonna pull these out. So these were kind of fun. This is the first Marvel Comics set that was made by Impel, and these boxes, of which I have 5 sealed boxes, they went up in value to like almost $1,000. Actually, I think they were over $1,000 back in the boom of 2020. After being, like $30 or $40 boxes for many, many years. I think those boxes are still worth like $500, but I definitely should have sold all of the ones I had. I didn't know I had any of these cards in here, but I remember when I was a kid buying a few of these packs because, like, why not? This actually looks really nicely centered, this card. I don't know if this Mr. Fantastic would have any value even in high grade, but kind of fun to see it. these are ET, which was 1983, I believe, so these might be marked 84. Nope, 82, I was wrong, so I think that was an 82 release. And these are all pretty banged up, unfortunately. I don't know if they really would have... Ooh, I see some wrestling cards, which I kind of totally forgot were in here, but those can have some value. Oh, well, there's card number 54, and then I actually see in the box here card number 35, so I'm going to put those back with the rest of that set. Hopefully I can put that together. Those cards are in really nice condition. So this is 1987 Topps WWF World Wrestling Federation, now the WWE. Cards that, it's funny, you know, I bought a pack or two of these. I got a Hulk Hogan in there, very nice. I bought a pack or two of these when I was a kid, just because, you know, who didn't love Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan and Macho Man and all these guys. But this stuff is really kind of spiked up in value. So let's see what we've got here. Unfortunately, these are looking pretty beat up, so... Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. What was this guy's name? Oh man, doesn't say, but I remember him. I just can't remember his name. Aerial Maneuvers. Looks like... I don't know, that kind of looks like the Ultimate Warrior. I know it's not. This is like a tag team match. Oh yeah, look at that. Andre the Giant getting slammed by the Hulkster. Is that Coco Beware right there, heading for the ring? I believe it is. Now this is the card you want. Wow, look at this. At one time I was trying to sell this for $1. I bet. Oh, I got two of them. Now these are beat up to hell, so these are not really worth much, but I know, I'm pretty sure these go for like 20 bucks raw. And PSA, you know, like 10s are probably worth a small fortune, like a few hundred, like hundreds of dollars. So these are pretty cool. I'm going to pull these out. Maybe I'll list these on eBay. See what they're going for. But yeah, that's the card you want to get out of this set. I didn't even know it when I bought this stuff, but there's an 85 Topps WWF set. And that would be where you'd find the first Topps cards of Hulk Hogan, and those are really valuable. Davey Boy Smith, Honky Tonk Man, and then I got some weird like marker. I went around the edge of it with it. Challenge answered. King Harley Race. Harry and the Hendersons with John Lithgow. Man, it's been a while since I've seen this movie. I'm not sure I've ever sat down and watched it, but I feel like I've seen the entire thing in pieces, because a lot of times when I was a kid it'd be on, like, you know, TV, and I'd watch wherever it was in the movie at that point. Oh, now we got Dukes of Hazzard. Oh, there's Uncle Jesse rookie card, guys. I'm sure this actor, what was his name? Can't remember, but he passed away probably many years ago. And then we got a whole bunch of ET cards. Oops. Oh man, I thought that was my daughter. Can you guys hear that? That is a cat that lives like across the street. And he comes into my like yard. I have my windows open so you can hear it really well. And like meows like that. I don't know what he's up to. I asked somebody who I know who's kind of a cat expert, and they said like he's just like maybe scared or something. I'm like, well, why does he come to my backyard in the middle of the night? Because I was thinking maybe it was like, you know, some mating thing. But it sounds like that's probably not. Anyways, boy, what an adventure we're having. Look at this guy. E.T. in his human surprised that I don't know, that it was so like well accepted by the world. But Steven Spielberg, right? Am I right? All right. So next up we have several of these TMNT packs. If I didn't have so many of these dang things opened already, I would have maybe wanted to bust into one of these, but I have no desire whatsoever to see the cards coming out of these things, and I don't know, maybe I could sell these for like $1 on eBay or something. So here we have, these are cards I would have opened. I think this is maybe one pack of cards. I bet there's 15 cards in here. And this is, boy, what is this? I want to say this is like Return of the Jedi. I can't imagine I would have opened anything Star Wars. Like the original 1977 cards, because those were always pretty tough to find. I'll be dang, these are 77. So these must have been, I don't know, Star Wars series, whatever. But yeah, look at that. I mean, these are all relatively packed fresh. Alright, well, let's see what we got in here. I don't know what, so number 305, these must be series like 4, 5, or 6 or something. Man, these are pretty cool, I gotta say. Some of the early Star Wars cards, in perfect condition can be quite valuable. And the boxes and packs, especially of Series 1, are like crazy expensive. So I'm going to have to go look those up and see what I see in terms of pricing of some of the individual cards. These are looking pretty off-center. That's cool. Chewy sticker card. Pretty nicely centered. Nice cutting error right there. So pretty cool. Those are pretty sweet. So I'll just put them back in the little ED style case. These cases are terrible. I feel like they totally wreck the cards because the corners are sort of rounded, and therefore the cards can have their corners dinged. All right, next up, this is a Goonies entire set, which is friggin' great. As expensive as these boxes are, and I think they're like maybe $400 or $500 unopened boxes of these cards, of packs of these cards. The sets really aren't valuable at all. I bet this set probably doesn't go for more than like $40 or something. So I'm happy to keep it around and be able to look through it. There's the kind of movie poster card right there. Alright, there's Mikey, played by Sean Astin. There's Chunk, played by, what's his name? I think his last name is Cohn, or Cohen. He's a entertainment lawyer now. There's Data. Mouth. Oh man, played by Corey Feldman. And wow, that's kind of a nice rookie card, right? Because that's Josh Brolin, who has become quite a big movie star. He's been in lots of things. He's doing like a lot of kind of TV stuff now. I think that's very successful. But he played George W. Bush in that George W. Bush sort of as an adult actor, and he had, he was, by then he was like 40 plus years old, but since that time I feel like he's been in a lot of stuff. So this is a very early card of him. He's probably like 18 or 19 when they filmed this. So pretty cool. There's Martha Plimpton, who's kind of a sort of cult star. She was in, I'm not sure what, but I know she's got quite a following. And then I think it's Carrie Green is her name, maybe. But plays Andy. And there is Chunky, and it wasn't he played by John Matuzak, the football player. I think that's right. That's right. Hey, you guys. And Mama Fratelli. Oh, I forget what her name is, but she was in Throw Mama from the Train, and I bet she had a whole career of, roles from, like, in the 60s and 70s, because I'm sure this was sort of towards the very end of her active acting career. For kids of the 80s, this was the first time they'd ever seen this person, but I have a feeling she's probably in lots of stuff, when she was younger. Played Mama Fratelli. This is the scene where the Fratellis break out of the jail, and this jail is actually, still alive and well. The building in Astoria, Oregon, and is actually the home of I think it's like the Oregon, film society or Oregon Film Museum or something like that. So it's basically, they have a museum in here where they set up, a bunch of areas where they show like props and stuff from films that have been recorded in Oregon, and they actually have the jail cell, which I think we'll probably see in another card. They have the jail cell that one of the Fratellis was in. He was the guy they were breaking out, and they have it set up exactly as how it was in the movie, and they filmed the movie, scene in this building. So it's really a cool piece of Goonies history, and man, I would love to get out there. It's funny, I was in Astoria. I was actually in Portland. I've been to Portland, Oregon quite a number of times. It is a fun city that I like to get to. Boy, it seems like forever ago. Yeah, it just seems like a long time ago since I've been there, but it was a city that I'd been to, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, in the span of 10 years. So I was actually considered moving there at one point, but ultimately I just felt like, I don't know, I never really felt like, man, I really want to live here. I mean, I was like shopping for houses out there, and boy, do I wish I bought one of those, because the real estate market there has gone bonkers in the past like 10-15 years. And I'm sure I would have like quadrupled my investment even if I had never lived a day in the house. But anyways, yeah, I was pretty serious about possibly spending a bunch of time there, but never really just kind of felt it. And ultimately I decided to move back to my hometown of Fargo, North Dakota, where I'm recording here today. But I've been to Astoria, but I had no idea this museum thing existed, and therefore didn't go to it. But I did kind of, like, I think, try to find the house that is still there, but people who live there are pretty like, they don't like visitors or people driving by. If you've never seen this movie, just pause the video, go find it. I think it's on, I feel like it's on, I saw it on HBO Max, like within the last, few weeks. So, it's out there. It's just man, I love this movie so much. I saw it when it was in the theaters. I remember, my mom used to take me and my sister out camping when we were kids in the summer. Every summer, I knew we were going camping. funny. We had no idea. We had no idea how to camp. And when I say we, I mean my mom. Bless her. But I feel like we always, ended up going. It was raining cats and dogs, and the tent was always getting wet, and you were afraid to touch the wall of the tent because it was just like, wet as heck, and it was crazy. And, starting a fire was like a big problem. So, yeah, camping. But, I don't know, it was kind of stressful, I remember back then, but in hindsight, I think I had some good times. On these camping trips we took, we always, it was tent camping in, campgrounds. But anyways, I remember we were out camping, and we were in some small town in the middle of Minnesota somewhere, where we always went. And I think it was raining, so we had to do something indoors, and I think there was like this little theater in one of these small little towns, and it was rainy out, and we went in, and I had never heard of the Goonies. I think my mom just sort of picked the movie out and said we're gonna watch this one, and we went in there and watched this movie when it was like rainy outside, which is like kind of amazing because I feel like this whole movie, because it's in the Pacific Northwest, like, well, I don't know, just because this is the way it was when they filmed it, right? But in the Pacific Northwest, I do know that it's overcast and raining a lot. Although that's mostly in the winter, and I think this was supposed to not be in the winter, but it actually may have been in the winter. Anyways, it was rainy outside where I was, and you go inside and watch the movie, and it's rainy in there because it's the Pacific Northwest, and it sort of feels like, wow, it's like, I don't know, somehow you're in the world that they're in a little bit more if it's the same weather outside for some reason. And I remember seeing that movie, and I just came out of there like sort of shell-shocked. I was so kind of moved by this movie. There's a card in here I want to make sure I talk about. It's coming up. So yeah, I saw the movie. I don't know, I must have been like, 6, 7, 8 or something. Well, no, let's see. This came out in 85, right? So I guess I was 8 when this came out, 8 or 9. And, man, I just was like so in love with it. And I remember we went to like a little bookstore afterwards, and they had like magazines there. And you know how they have like magazines that are just all about a movie, and they show pictures of it. At least they did that in the 80s and 90s. I don't think they really do it anymore. But I remember they had like a Goonies little magazine, and I wanted to get that so bad. I can't remember if I got it. I think I probably did. Anyway, so ever since then, man, I was a huge fan of the Goonies. And still love to watch it today. Okay, yeah, so this one, this octopus did not appear in the movie as cut for theaters. And you can find scenes, like the cut scene where they have this octopus. Actually, I think it's like a giant squid, it looks like to me. But you can find the scenes like on YouTube if you want to hunt those down. There's like a few scenes that they cut from the theatrical release. And you can find them all online. There's that octopus again. So there you go. Great set. Great movie. Love the Goonies. I would say there's a lot of movies I really, really, really love from the 80s, but I would say my top, I used to say Star Wars, like, was my favorite movie of all time, but I feel disingenuous about that. I actually think like the Star Wars universe is kind of my favorite sort of overall movie, choice, preference, whatever. I will always see every Star Wars thing that comes out, and be very excited when I've seen more Star Wars movies in total than, or maybe any other movie. just because there's so many. But really, like, I don't know, what I really love is the Star Wars universe. And, you know, all the different movies and TV shows and stuff that it gives us. And all the toys and everything. I love that, you know, there's just so much volume. But I really think my favorite, like, single individual movie that I love more than anything else is The Karate Kid, the original 1984 movie with Ralph Macchio and Pat Morita. I've watched that movie more than any other single movie, and it's not even close. I used to watch that like once a month, you know, in my 20s. It sort of had, I don't know, some kind of like religious, spiritual impact on me if I was feeling down or, you know, whatever. I just need to relax. That movie would do it. That movie would do it. So anyways, I love The Karate Kid. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to edit that out. Noise. Although, it's funny, a lot of times I make like a giant noise, and then I go and like review the video, and it doesn't really show up that loud. So those were a bunch more TMNT packs. This is the total now of packs, and I see another kind of swath of them coming up. Well, let's just keep on going down memory lane, shall we? Duke's Hazzard. I think Daisy. I think I got these Duke's cards. I feel like Merrill was his first or last name. That actor. Another Daisy rookie card. Oh, I thought that was the same one. What's different? Daisy Duke, the originator of the Daisy Duke shorts, which I guess those are Daisy Dukes. I think I got these Dukes of Hazzard cards and the ET cards from a friend of mine who I used to trade cards with when I was a kid, and he had a lot of kind of early 80s stuff. That was from a time like before I really collected cards. I didn't start collecting cards until 86. So, I don't know why, I just felt like I should get that stuff. It seemed kind of cool. And I'm going to run out of battery, but I think I got enough. So, more ET cards. And some Dallas cards, how about that? You know, a while ago I tried to start watching the Dallas series, but unfortunately I could only find it online in a place that, like, basically, I think it's IMDb video. IMDb is basically like I think it's owned by Amazon now, and basically they have all this older 80s content and some, you know, plenty of new stuff too, but they have like a ton of 80s stuff. And the problem with IMDb is they only have ad-supported content, and they do not allow you to subscribe and like get rid of the ads. So you basically, if you want to watch anything they have, you're gonna watch ads, and there's a lot of them. So Dallas was on there, and I tried to watch a few episodes, but I just couldn't. I don't know, couldn't get that far because of the ads. 81 Tron, very cool. More Dallas beat-up cards. More Tron. And some more wrestling. Now this seems like, yeah, fascinating. So this is an 85 card, and these are the 87s over here. These. So I hopefully have more 85 somewhere in here. That would be great. If I could get the 85 Hulkster, that would be fantastic. Oh, these are cool. Dark Crystal, the rounded edges. Loved that movie when I was a kid too. Jim Henson, the Muppets puppeteer, I think did the puppets on this one. There's some G.I. Joe cards. I'm sure I got these from that friend of mine too, because I was not into G.I. Joe. Now I don't know where these cards came from, but these do not seem like anything that came in a pack, so they might have... I think they came with the figures. Like if you bought this figure, then you got the card of him in the little pack. Unfortunately, they're just like kind of miscellaneous utility guys. Not like Snake Eyes. But my friend, I think, bought a lot of G.I. Joes. Cobra Commander. Seems a little better. Wow, tons of G.I. Joes. Cobra Officer. Commando, I think, seems pretty good. More Dark Crystal. There we go, Artillery Laser. Alright, here's some more 87 wrestling. And I think this is an 85. Kind of weird. Oh, I bet these 85s came from my friend who I got the all the ET cards and stuff. And here's another bunch of stuff. Raiders of the Lost Ark, okay. Yeah. Oh, I see some Knight Riders. I think that's going to be some of the missing ones for the set. Oh, there's number 1. Nice. Oh, I got some Garbage Pail Kids. That's exciting. Those are probably pretty late series, so not really valuable, but fun to see. Yeah, I really just haven't gone through these in like forever. Put those Knight Rider cards away. All these baby blue ones are Dukes of Hazzard. Alright, Jules Drools. Copyright 86. So these were probably... 85 was series 1, 2, and I think 3. And series 4 was the first one in 86. 5th series, there you go. Yeah, so... Alright, Dental Philosophy, Zeke, Freak, Blue Boy George. It's kind of a fun one because Boy George, and back from when he was really popular. Hamburger Patty, Alice Island, Stuck Chuck, Juicy Jessica. Oh, those were cool. These red things. Stickers, it looks like. Yeah, just stickers from those same 1990 cards. Shredder, April, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello. There's the full crew there. And lots more. Dukes of Hazzard. I think we're just about ready to get to the packs here. This last chunk of cards, I think, is all that's left, and it looks like it's all Dukes of Hazzard. That's it for the single cards. That was fun. Let's see what packs we have here. First up, we got Harry and the Hendersons. So we saw some of the individual cards. It's been locked up in this thing for God only knows how many years. Well, I guess this stuff came out in 88, I think. 87. That's probably not too far off from This is actually a OPG pack, so there's no Topps logo on it, but it's from 1978, Jaws 2. It's funny that some of these older packs you're going to see here are OPGs instead of Topps, and I don't know why. I don't know. I just happened upon them and bought them. But this one's pretty nice, looking at the corners of a lot of these packs you're going to see coming up, they're kind of getting, worn down, and cards are starting to poke through, and that's not what you want. But this card, this pack is looking pretty nice still. So that's good. Next up we have a couple of packs from 1978 as well. Superman, the movie, the first movie. These are OPG. So these are cards that Topps would have made as well, but these are the OPG versions, and these are, it looks to be like maybe 10 card packs. 15 is kind of the standard Topps, but like these have 9, so maybe for non-sports I think they generally have fewer packs, or fewer cards per pack. But pretty cool. These are in pretty good shape. These might be worth a little bit, maybe like $5-10, something like that. They're quite old. And then only some Topps packs here. These are Superman 3 packs, and these. Oh, actually, no, we've got Superman 2 and 3, and this Superman 2 is like just the cards are busting out. So not the best. But I think that's kind of how I got a lot of these packs. It's pretty beat up. You can hear the gum. Slide around in there. Very cool. That's a cool looking pack, even though it's pretty beat up. So we got Superman 1, we got Superman 2, and here's Superman 3 from 1983. And the corners are starting to kind of get pretty white and worn on this one. The gum is no longer mobile, so it's stuck to a card in there. Alright, here's a fun one. So this one is pretty beat up too, pretty worn down. All the corners have pretty strong wear. This is Rambo, which is First Blood Part 2. I don't think I realized this when I was a kid, but like the first Rambo movie, was called First Blood. And only in the second movie was called Rambo, First Blood Part 2. And there's Rambo 3, 4, and I think 5 now. So this is the second movie, not the first one, for which there really wasn't, a lot of fanfare because nobody knew it was going to be the cultural phenomenon that it came to be until it came out. So. This is kind of a cool one. Probably the earliest Topps pack I have in here, 1978 Mork and Mindy. Unfortunately, kind of beat up, kind of wearing through here, like some of these others. I'm kind of bummed they don't have the Topps logo on here, because I like these older packs that have the old style Topps logo that I can't find examples of to show you, but they used that logo, I think, from like 1979 and before. Actually, it might be 1980 and before. But if you have unopened packs or boxes with that old Topps logo, you've got something special. So pretty cool there. Here is a newer pack, Back to the Future 2. I feel like these were also boxes of these things like super cheap for a long time, but you know, that sort of ended a lot sooner than like some of the other things that I've shown you. And I don't know what unopened boxes and stuff are. I'd love to have an unopened box of stuff, but this is 1989 copyright. And there were no Back to the Future 1 cards. There may have been Back to the Future 3 cards, but I kind of think there wasn't, but I don't know for sure. Okay, now we got a double dose. So there's the old Topps logo I was telling you about. That kind of like little smiley face design. And these are pretty nice condition. A little bit of whiting on some of these corners, but not all of them, and it's not as extensive. But the black hole, very cool. I like these. So it says copyright 1979. Okay, I said 78. I think I said 78 before, but it's 79. Alright, next up we have a couple of Goonies packs, and again, I don't know if I think these packs I bought before I had my complete box, my first one. I might be wrong. These packs back in 2021 or 2020 were getting pretty expensive. They're like $25 a piece or so, maybe more than that. They've gone down a fair bit since then, but I think they're still pretty valuable. These ones are pretty beat up, but the ones I have in my partial box are pretty much, you know, mint. So it's fun to have some, you know, variety of condition in my packs. They're of the Goonies, even though I've only got those two. Let's see. Next up, I want to do this one. This product. These baby cards are also one of the like boxes that you would always see for sale cheap. Because I think just nobody ever bought any of these. I don't know why they made a set for this movie. This movie, I think I have seen this movie, but I've completely forgotten it. But it's kind of silly. I think they like find a dinosaur somewhere, you know, out in the forest, and they have to hide him because, you know, everybody's gonna want to do testing on him and God knows what. I think is what the movie is about. You know, I don't think it was a very big hit, and the idea that people were gonna be obsessed enough to go buy cards was probably a long shot, and consequently you could get boxes of this stuff for dirt cheap for so many years, and even now I'm sure they're probably only like $20, but 85. Had to pick up a bag at some point, right? Okay, well, here's I think the only sealed Star Wars related product that I have in my entire collection. This is Return of the Jedi, the last of the original trilogy. Beat up corner there, pretty banged up. So actually a little tear right there. Look at that. So yeah, this one's pretty rough shape. And you can get boxes of this stuff for probably, I don't know, like 150, $200. So you know, pretty valueless pack in this condition. Maybe it's a $5 pack in nice condition, but in this condition, not really worth much. But since it's the only Star Wars pack I have, I quite like it. All right, and the last pack, other than a bunch more TMNT ones, is kind of a cool one. And again, the old Topps logos. This must be 78, I want to say 79. But Buck Rogers, can't go wrong with Buck Rogers. A little bit white on the corners, but not too bad. Pretty nice condition. Yeah, so you know, all these packs I just sort of picked up at card shows. I went to probably like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, something like that, maybe 10 years ago. Just because, you know, they were for sale, probably largely by the same guy, same dealer, and I thought, let's just pick some of these older ones up and hang on to them. And I still have them. So it looks like we got a pack of Rocky 2 cards that I opened. And this is another one where, you know, there were no Rocky 1 cards because that nobody really knew at the time that came out that it was going to be, you know, such a huge success. But certainly by the time Rocky 2 came out, everybody knew. And I'm sure they sell a lot of Rocky 2 cards. Carl Weathers. And there you go. So that's the whole box of stuff. And even more TMNT cards. In nice shape, but, you know, still pretty valuable. Maybe these are $1 a pack kind of thing. At one point I think I had a couple boxes of these and opened a bunch and just kind of took the packs out of one of the boxes and got rid of the rest. Maybe sold them or gave them away or something. So there you go. There was kind of some fun cards in those singles. I'll have to look up these Hulk Hogan's. That's what we got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed our little walk down memory lane there and some of the non-sports content. I do enjoy non-sports cards and, you know, happy to go through those from time to time, but we'll be back with sports cards action in the next video. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch y'all later. You have a great one. Bye now.